Hey everybody, Andy here again, Montolio. We're back for another Vintage League. This is round two. We're playing against Mega Mistake, and last I saw this person, they were on Hollowvine, and obviously this hand is not very good against Hollowvine. I guess there is a world where I could mulligan down to a Bazaar, but I'm really not sure what they're playing. Um, I have a cantrip here. I've got a force of will. Like, what if they're not playing Hollow Wine? So I'm going to keep it. I never like to, unless you're dealing with somebody that you just know is a mono deck player, like they only play workshops or they only play dredge. I don't like to typically hedge and mulligan to something. So as it turns out, my opponent is on Bazaar, and we don't have a four wasteland deck here. We got two wastelands and a strip mine. I could have mulliganed, but I still stand by my logic that you don't want to be too aggressive with that sort of thing because you can just throw away games that are otherwise very winnable. Like this is a really great hand against, well, not a great hand, but it's a serviceable hand. Okay, let's rip a wasteland or a strip mine off the top. That would be nifty. Yeah, so we're pretty much dead. Just like that. I mean, when you have two squeeze off the top, that's just really powerful. Okay. I mean, I'm going to keep both of these. I mean, I still think we're probably too far gone to be able to come back here, but I mean, it's somewhat contingent on my opponent not having an explosive hand here. I mean, they're going to be back up to a full seven. And who's to say they haven't found a second Bazaar at this point? But that's what we were looking for. We'll hold up Flusterstorm after our strip mine. Okay, so they've got a Force of Will in hand. Okay, no play. That's really, really good for us. Like, once again, they may have a second Bazaar, but there's not much we can do about that. I kept the Dak Faden for a Hollow one. Are they going to Noxious Revival here? So that worked out pretty good for us. And we just have to hope they don't have another Bazaar in hand. And we have a decent chance of winning this one for sure if they don't. Okay, so they're just going to try and counter both my spells here. So they obviously don't have a second Bazaar. Let's hope they don't have a trap. Okay, one miscellaneous card and two squeeze. All right. I mean, we got a chance, guys. Maybe. I think I'm going to get a basic mountain here. You know that your opponent is desperate when they are double countering two Flusterstorm triggers, two for wanting themselves each time they're doing it. But I mean, with Bazaar, you got to do what you got to do, right? You are going to replenish with those squeeze, so it is worth it. But It's kind of funny, right? Um, I think I'm going to dash Ragavan. I mean, Fury wrecks me pretty good. I can cast Root Wallace. And of course, he does have two squeeze in play. So I'm sad to have exiled that. I don't know whether I should be dashing this thing every turn. I just like the hasted damage. Oh, my opponent just concedes. Wow. All right. Like I feel like we just had so little chance in that particular game. And again, Ragavan really impresses. Evidently, I am reasonably prepared for this matchup. Okay. I don't think this is overly good. I think Fawn is poor. Like they're Force of Vigoring during my turn typically. I think Pyroblast is okay. I mean, they have a lot of counter magic. I'm really not sure what to take out here. Like, um, I do like Flusterstorm, and I do like Daze too. Like, this is a deck that just gets pounded by Daze. But Daze is a lot worse on the draw, so I think I might take one of them out. Might cut the Channelers. Like, I do like the Channeler. I think it's pretty nifty, but actually, Ragavan's butt too. Now that I think about it, like, how does Ragavan get through just a simple root wall? It's not very easily. Now we don't have a lot of win conditions in the deck now. I think that's okay, right? Like maybe I want a Shattering Spree for uh for some Golos. Narset's pretty bad. It does mess with Bazaar though. I could see cutting something like a Gush. I think it's going to take a while for me to set Gush up. Let's try that. I don't know what's correct here. All I know is we have a very solid sideboard against them. Where we lose is to something like quick hollow ones. And I have watered my deck down to the point where I don't really have any threats. So, like, this is an example, right? Like, a hollow one gets me really good, but there's nothing I can do about that. Leyline of the Void's really good against them. Like, it takes their squeeze away and their Vengevines, which is pretty good. I mean, maybe they have a Force of Vigor. I don't know. I can't stop a Force of Vigor. I can see losing this game. I beat these type of hands all the time from my opponents. Like one of the things about Hollowvine is it does circumvent hate to some extent. So look, I am somewhat playing into Force of Vigor by doing this, and I'm gonna go get a basic island. And hopefully they don't have it, but if they do, it's pretty bad for me. Oh, okay. Double Bazaar, that's solid. We need a land here bad. That actually was decent. Let's see if I can get Dak in. Force of Vigor is brutal if they have it here, but they didn't have it last turn. I will wasteland them next turn, but I really wanted to get Dak on the table to give myself a chance at being able to counteract hollow ones. I'm surprised my opponent conceded there. I just think that was a weak concession. Double Bazaar, they're going to be churning into Root Wallace like crazy. Um, or, I don't know. Okay, Relic. I mean, those were both pretty bad cards, but yeah, we'll take that win. I mean, that feels good.